So we believe it's important that kids learn that this is something that they're invited into. And here's a kid right here who wants to help me out. Hola. And so we've created a curriculum for exactly that. So check this out. Hola a todos y bienvenidos a Paraguay. Kyle here, and thank you for making wholeness possible. You are watching You Are Making Wholeness Possible, this month coming from South America, as we celebrate all that God is doing through the ministry of Children of Promise in many, many countries all around the world. Thank you so much. If you don't already, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page and our monthly newsletters, both email and both video, and make sure you follow us on all of our social medias. Let's get started. Children of Promise, we believe it is super important that children learn at a young age that they're invited into a long-standing historic restoration project we call the church. That the church has always been a part of making wholeness possible, making access happen. We've not always been perfect at it, but so many good things have also been done in the name of Jesus around the world as people who have not had the same access are welcomed to the table. So we believe it's important that kids learn that this is something that they're invited into. And here's a kid right here who wants to help me out. Hola. And so we've created a curriculum for exactly that. So check this out.
Hi friends, I'm Emery and welcome to the Children of Promise team. It's time to board our plane, so come on! Today we're traveling across the world to learn from one of our Children of Promise friends. While our friends may have challenges in their lives, there's always something beautiful as well. Let's go! Hola y bienvenido a Colombia! Welcome to Colombia! We are back in South America for our last incredible trip. Wow, what a crazy few trips we have had together.
The goal of this curriculum is not to be a standalone VBS or kids curriculum for your church. It's to be a supplement. Whatever your church is doing as far as kids ministry this coming year, or if you are having a VBS, we would love to be the focus of your missional moment or thought for the time. So in this curriculum, as you saw in the video, kids will be able to travel to 5 different countries with our puppet character, Emery, where they will get to learn a little bit through a story of a child in the Children of Promise program, to understand just a little bit of what it's like to grow up in extreme poverty, but also to see how God is working in the midst of that through Children of Promise and among many churches around the world who are doing good works to include everyone in their community. We also have small group materials that are available to your church that are experiential. The idea is we wanted to give young kids in the United States a chance to not just learn, but to experience what a kid like them is going through in places like Rwanda or here in Paraguay. And so there's different exercises that are all experiential, like one day the children will be carrying heavy buckets of water, which in many of the countries where our children live, that's how they get water for laundry and for drinking and for cooking every single day. Their mothers and them walk down to the river to get water. So that's just one example of how we want the children to just get a snapshot of what it's like to grow up in another place in the world, and how through Children of Promise they can make a difference in the world. So all that to say, we would love for you to join the adventure with the Join the Adventure curriculum we've written for kids. It's a fun, wild ride around the world, and we really truly believe, as we've seen in some of our beta testing around the country, that kids can learn a lot about what it means to join the adventure of the mission of God in the restoration project that we're all invited into, to make wholeness possible for people no matter where they were born or the history of their country, that everybody should have a seat at the table to be able to make a difference in their own story and in their own world. So if you have questions, please email us at khayes@childrenofpromise.global. We can send you a video that'll get you started, and you can ask any questions you may have by contacting us there in the office. Thanks.
In the past couple of months, the Children of Promise program in Botswana has been experiencing some Galatians 6:9 moments as they approach their 4th anniversary of the program. They're experiencing a harvest of their investment of time and intentionality through the program. One story in particular stood out that they wanted to share with us. A 10-year-old sponsored boy went over to the neighbor's house to play one afternoon. These particular neighbors go to a healing church, which is one of the African folk religions where they wear specific robes to their worship services and use ashes and water to search for healing and help in their day-to-day struggles. This boy was sharing with his neighbors about his church, Children of Promise, and the help that he receives. This 10-year-old boy ended up inviting them to come. The following Sunday, 5 kids and their mother showed up at the Botswana Church of God in Botswana to see what it was all about. Here's a little kid who recognizes that his church is different. He knows that he can get help from his church. His church extends nutrition, education, healthcare, and discipleship because of their partnership with Children of Promise. There are no robes or ashes or water necessary, only the power of God through the people of God. This 10-year-old is experiencing wholeness, and he's inviting his neighbors to experience it too. This is what your sponsorship is doing. It's elevating the local church around the world and empowering them to be the hands and feet of Christ so that boys and girls can experience wholeness and invite others to do the same. Let us not grow weary of doing what is good, for in due time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. It seems that there is a never-ending stream of global news that highlights crises and major needs resulting from natural disasters, unforeseen weather complications, political turmoil, and war, dire economic conditions, or even sudden health emergencies and accidents. We'd like to turn your attention briefly to Kenya for a moment. As a result of a long-lasting drought in Western Kenya, the children in the Children of Promise program are now experiencing significant complications resulting from a lack of water. The typical locations where families draw water to use for drinking and washing and cleaning have dried up. What remains are stagnant pools of dirty water with no fresh rainfall to replace them. Wells are dry, and families are left vulnerable to waterborne illness, dehydration, and elevated food costs due to the lack of harvest. Families are really struggling, and they could use your prayers and your generosity. At CFP, we do our best to respond to emergency needs like this as we have the capacity, and we're sending support to Kenya to help families access clean water and manage the high prices and health complications associated with the drought. Please consider a gift to our emergency fund to help us respond to these needs in Kenya, as well as other emergency needs that affect the CFP kids around the world. Well, thank you from the whole team here at Children of Promise. Again, if you haven't already, subscribe to our free newsletter at childrenofpromise.global/newsletter so that you can receive monthly updates, learn about upcoming travel opportunities, and read stories of wholeness in the lives of sponsored children. If you have questions about travel, Children of Promise Sundays, or anything else, don't hesitate to contact us. You can email us, message us on social media, or call the office Monday through Friday. Bye-bye.